Hey everybody! Thank you for coming back, and hopefully you've come back to see what new autographs I've had since the last time that I posted, which was a while ago. So apologies, my video uploading is a little bit slapdash. I spend more time kind of updating my Instagram account, to be perfectly honest, than I do kind of adding stuff here. Although I do want to keep the videos going, so thank you for your continued support. But do please visit my Instagram account if you want to see more up to date updates of the sort of autographs that I've had over the last sort of period of time. Let's crack straight on. So, what have I had since the last video? Well, first thing first is this. You can see on the screen here this charity shop purchase. It's a signed autobiography from singer and presenter Alan Jones. Probably, I would assume he's not that well known outside of the UK. He's a Welsh started off as Welsh choir singer, but he's a TV presenter now as well. He's probably best known as the voice from the song "Walking in the Air" from the film The Snowman. Although I stand corrected here, but I'm pretty sure he didn't sing the version of "Walking in the Air" that's in the film. He sang the version that was released as kind of like the single that was released into the charts. But he's a presenter in his own right now. This was charity shop pickup. I think it was 50p. I'm not a fan per se, but I wasn't going to pass it up for 50p. And you can see here, signed on the inside of the book. You'll have noticed recently that a lot of my updates are books. I'm sending out a lot less TTMs just because the replies are so poor at the moment, so I haven't been doing very many. So a lot of my updates are books for those that are interested in that sort of thing. But again, sort of charity shop purchases predominantly. Next up, again, another charity shop purchase. I think I paid £1 for this where I was away on holiday for a couple of days, took the family away. Popped into a charity shop and picked up this copy of Captain Scott by Ranulph Fiennes, sort of explorer, an adventurer, and an author, Ranulph Fiennes. As I say, I think this was a pound. I can't remember exactly. And you can see here it is signed on the front page. Somebody did comment a little while ago that you're more likely to find a signed copy of his than an unsigned copy. I think he must sign a lot of copies of his book. But it's the first one I had, so I was happy to add this to the collection. Next up is actually a TTM reply. This is my first one in a long while, I think, and maybe one of only a couple here on this particular video. But this return is from Emma Darcy, who is probably best known from her role in the amazing House of Dragon. Thank God they're kind of doing this right at the moment and making up for some of the absolutely monumental cock-ups they made in the last series of Game of Thrones. I'm terrible with names. I think she was Rhaena Targaryen in the current House of Dragon, or the second half, I suppose, of House of Dragon. I can't wait for the next series. It looks fantastic. Her signature's great. She uses this brilliant silver pen. It looks awesome. I did worry when I saw these originally that they might be auto pen. Not these, but just generally her replies. But if you look, they are very different from each other. So I'm pretty sure they're not auto pen. I don't think she's quite that famous yet to be auto penning stuff. So yeah, really pleased with that reply from Emma Darcy. Next up is oh yes, these have been out for an absolute age. There's two from America. Yeah, two from America. These were sent out probably a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe. I can't remember exactly, but they've been out for a long time. The first one is a brand new addition to my MASH collection. For those who've seen my videos previously, you'll know I love the TV series MASH. It's absolutely fantastic, and unfortunately, because of its age, the age of the show, most of the people who acted in it have passed away now. They are deceased, or if they're not, they're incredibly hard to get signed stuff from. But yeah, most of them are unfortunately deceased now. But I wrote off to Jamie Farr because I did see he was replying. He played Corporal Klinger, Maxwell Q. Klinger, in the series, the cross-dressing sort of sentry guard, I guess, for want of a description when he first came into it. And he signed and returned both of these. I think he's in his late 80s or maybe early 90s now, so still a great signature from Jamie there. There's one of him with Colonel Potter, and then one of him in his sort of trademark outfits on sentry duty as well. So yeah, two replies there from the brilliant Jamie Farr. I'm really pleased to have these in the MASH part of my collection. And the other return I got, again, really, really pleased with these, is from the brilliant John Waters, probably best known as sort of the godfather of filth, I guess is his description. He's a film director, for those who don't know, directed things like Pink Flamingos, and also films like Cry Baby with Tracy Lord and Johnny Depp. I sent these to an address that I found after a bit of research over lockdown. I think I was doing lots of research on addresses, and found this address. I sent him. This is a more modern image. You can see he's put to Carl John Waters, and then this one as well, which is an older picture of him as well. So really pleased to have this addition to my sort of film director's part of the collection. Next up, this was an in-person signed picture. I went to a screening. Probably one of my absolute favourite films is the film Twin Town. I love it. Probably lots of people on here may not have seen it. It's made in Wales. It's been called the Welsh Trainspotting, although the director Kevin Allen, who I met at the screening, said he hated that sort of comparison. But I guess that probably is the closest comparison, is Trainspotting set in Wales. Imagine that. So I met Kevin Allen at a screening of Twin Town. It was an anniversary screening. You can see I managed to grab a snap with him. And he signed my copy of Twin Town as well. So new addition to the Twin Town collection, starting to build quite a decent collection of this. Although unfortunately, lots of the actors from this film have also recently passed away. So scrabbling to get autographs where I can from this. Next up is another signed book. This is a charity shop purchase. It's from Rio Ferdinand, former Manchester United player, absolute legend. It's his book Thinking Out Loud, which he wrote after his wife died. It's about love, grief, and being mum and dad. You can see there. It's not necessarily the sort of football book I would normally have in my collection, but it's the only one I've got of Rio at the moment, and it'll certainly be a good addition until I can find a more football themed kind of replacement for it. You can see it's signed here, Rio, in the front. So very pleased to have something signed by Rio Ferdinand in the collection, although, like I said, I'd probably swap it out with one of his more football related books if and when I get one. This was an amazing response. Absolutely loved this. I got this back in towards the end of March. I wrote to Sir Ian McKellen, Toheeb Jimoh, and Richard Coyle when they were doing their play in London. So I think it was called Kings. No, it was called the Player Kings. That was it, Player Kings. So I wrote to all three of them. I sent this one picture and just hedged my bets and wrote to all three of them because I didn't know who was replying, who wasn't. I'd written to Toheeb Jimoh previously and never got a response. He's best known for Ted Lasso. So I sent this image. And you can see here all three of them signed it. To be honest, I really just wanted Ian McKellen and Toheeb Jimoh, but I thought as they're all in it, if I write to all three of them, I've got a better chance, and because it is an image from their play, and it worked. So at the top you can see it's signed to Carl wishes Ian McKellen. Underneath that it's signed to Carl best wishes Richard Coyle, and then at the bottom, which is quite hard to see in this picture but not on the original itself, it says love Toheeb Jimoh, and I've done a lightened up version of the bottom signatures so you can see those as well. So really, really pleased to get this multi-signed image back from their play. Really cool. This has worked for me a few times now where I wanted to get a person or a couple of people from a play. If you send a decent image from the play itself, which I know doesn't work for a lot of people because lots of people would rather have, Ian McKellen from X-Men or Toheeb Jimoh from Ted Lasso, whatever. But if you send this and write to all of the main cast, quite often, or more often than not, they will sign and return it. It's worked a few times for me, so it's definitely a kind of a route I'll go down again in the future for certain. Next up was another charity shop purchase. This is another copy. This is about my sort of 6th or 7th copy of a John Cleese signed book now. I'm getting a bit obsessed with them, but I love John Cleese and I love Monty Python. Absolutely died in the wool Monty Python fan. Always have been, always will be. Really pleased that I got the opportunity to go and see them live when they did their tour before Terry Jones sadly passed away. I already have a copy of this, Creativity, so I probably would have thought twice about buying it, and it was a little bit more expensive. I think it was like £4. I say more expensive than I'd normally pay. But the reason I bought it is inside, he's actually signed the book plate upside down by mistake and then written special upside down signature and stuck it in, and I thought that's really cool. That's probably the only one of all of his books I've got, the rest just have his signature in. So to have that special personalization, I guess, for want of a better description in it, I think is really cool. So there's no way I was going to pass this up. So yeah, yet another John Cleese. I think I'll probably be my last now, but famous last words. And the very last one for this video, this is Graham Henry. He was the former Wales rugby coach. Again, this is a charity shop purchase. I think this was 50p. It's his book, The X Factor. And you can see in here it is dedicated to Keith, but it's got best wishes, Graham Henry, nice big clear signature. Obviously being Welsh and being a rugby fan, history of Welsh rugby is of interest to me. I've got lots of rugby players already. You can see over to the right hand side. No, it isn't in there actually. But you can see underneath here, I do have a link to kind of rugby if you want to go and look at all my rugby books or sport books or Wales related books. So you can see that. So so that's everything up until Friday the 12th of April. I've got loads more returns. I just haven't added them in this video. I'm trying to keep the videos as short as I can. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for coming back and viewing it. I'll try and get the next one up a bit quicker this time, and hopefully it won't be too long before you hear from me again. But thanks very much. Please, if you haven't already, leave a comment. I love hearing from people. Even if it's just a comment on that's a great signature or how did you get that or whatever. I'm always happy to help fellow collectors. Comment, like, subscribe, all that kind of YouTubery stuff. And hopefully see you again soon. Thanks ever so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.